Maluti, Coco Maluti. Melody, Majita, Melody. Chalete. Hey yo.
Always gotta start it off with
Hey yo. Why hanene? Yo, we live from the Tabing Maluti. Kwa Habedi. You know?
Welcome to it. It's your boy Vice. Haktama Gelemong as always. Kitama Lemelito.
Hey yo.
And
Ongabachid.
Today we have a special
guest.
Well, I wouldn't say guest, eh?
Guest? Yeah, she's a guest on this podcast.
Yeah, she is. Because we say, as if people won't figure out.
I'm gonna change my voice.
Okay, voice of
Welcome to the Samsa.
You don't expose me,
I thought I didn't know it was a secret.
After all the efforts of
Why didn't you tell me?
But like we just talked about that.
I thought it was a joke.
And then the commander.
He goes.
I guess spoke.
Oh, spoke my tambo.
Yeah. I like the original one. I never.
That's okay.
Spoke my tambo.
Since you are in charge of the editing, ne? Otole effectively it's and
oh shit, mute.
You have to.
Okay, I'll mute it.
Extra work for you. Go and say.
Okay, I'll mute it.
From now on, Ausi Spoko gara.
Ausi spoke my tambo.
I feel like I need a reintroduction.
How matambo feel some way?
Well, I am skinny, so.
Okay,
I get about you all of it. Spoke my tambo. So you can't you have to say the whole thing. It's like that thing, the Boondogs, the pimp like Slipback. You have to say the whole thing.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is the one and only podcast that is named after the Tabatsa Kwakwa, Tabatsa Lesotho, Maluti Podcast. You know what that means? It means Kitsamale Melito.
You know.
And like I said, Kitsamale Ausi Spoko this time. We're trying to just see where this thing ends up because as you can see, cohesive right now because people keep breaking the rules.
The chillers is chilling.
Now people are gonna say it's because of the chillers and then because off and off I'll not tolerate chance of because I just be going off. One for like a ring. Mara anyways. Mel, how you been, bro? Let the people know.
Hey, I've been good, my people, I've been good. I know y'all miss me, I know y'all miss me, but...
What trauma?
Hey, man, they be out in the DMs, bro. Like, hey. Like, I'm joking. Go show it.
DMs?
Yo, I'm gonna be in trouble. But anyway... I've been good, my boy. I've been good. Life is lifing, Yeah.
Okay.
We're pushing.
Alright.
Forward is where we're going.
Ausi Spoko ntolo shabu kamo.
Man, I'm always cool.
Mpupelo botswe kantle.
Sweet.
Ekatlunzo na lepho.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Donation.
Aye, Pella, it's enough for the people in the house.
Yes.
It's not for.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah. Pella, in the community, I feel like we should really start asking
real questions,
stuff like that.
Yeah, like, real questions.
Because people do say it, and all that, but like they don't really mean
follow
it.
through.
Like when you really, otherwise just say DeViLL outside. Because like then
about.
You mentioning Tababana or Nzele it makes it feel like you care. So if I'm saying something, I'm expecting like it'd be dark
true.
out here,
Yeah, it'd be dark.
It'd
be scary out here,
yeah. Anyways, guys, you know how we do. We usually got topics, but nothing like that. In fact, I ain't even trying to talk about South Africa today.
Other people.
I saw khathetse man.
Nalo bora, luna South Africans. Gal rata mara nalo bora. Nalo fitla mo le nalo too much data and then I'll see letting kayona. Yep, on the net. South Africans.
So
Twitter account I browse it through. I'm not going to scrap all the time.
Yeah. So one thing that I've just noticed is that like South Africans, and I don't think it's out of ignorance. It's just that like we're not really conditioned because like it's more of like we don't even have like proper data. People don't have like like
compared to other African countries, we don't.
So it does limit the sort of knowledge that even if unal nako to really go out there and try to like just research other countries, how the other half lives, So I just want to talk about these 3 countries within the continent of Africa that I feel like could play are just very interesting to watch, I'm not saying like they're the most important countries right now or whatever, but I'm just saying like if you are one of those people that want to pay attention to the continent, but like you don't want to
you don't want to be bored.
You don't want to view it from every corner type of thing, and you just want maybe more hopeful stories from the continent, like countries that aren't so depressing, perhaps. Maybe like this episode might help you out. Maybe we might share some light on some stuff that maybe you didn't know about, The first country I want us to cross the border into Namibia. Did you know that Namibia used to be part of South Africa? Did you know that?
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I did my geography at my high school. So, but I know a lot about the sovereign countries, the ones in the southern hemisphere.
SADC region.
Yeah.
Okay,
So if you did your geography, you'll definitely know that once upon a time South Africa was part of Namibia. Zimbabwe at some point, right?
Yeah. Well, so South Africa, no, Zimbabwe was never part of it. I don't believe so. So what happened was South Africa was still, of course, under apartheid, and Namibia was already beginning to like want to split off. They've been wanting to split off. They were pretty much part of us out of like convenience, you could say, in my opinion. I'm not gonna say this is straight up facts, but from how I view it, because like I don't really know like the full history of it, but like they wanted out, and so I think they kind of fought for it as well. Yeah, but they split from us because, like I said, like apartheid government was hell, bro. Like ain't nobody trying to be part of that. So yeah, they split from us. Like another interesting fact about Namibia that maybe people don't know, at least from South Africa. I know that y'all are familiar with the fact that like there are a lot of like colored people over that side as well. But what maybe you don't know about is like instead of the Dutch being the main colonizers of Namibia, it was actually the Germans. So Germany sort of like lost its territories at the end of World War II. You know what happened. They lost the war. So yeah, if I'm not... Because like I could be getting it wrong and maybe they lost the territories after the First World War. However, I don't know. I think I got it right. It was after the second one. But hey, I'm just saying interesting facts here now. So with that, then you're going to find Afrikaans, it does have a bit of like a twang.
It has a little bit of German in it.
Yeah, and if you really want to like maybe find out maybe how it sounds or how different maybe it might, or how different or how familiar, because like it's all based on opinions, because it does sound pretty familiar, but like there is those differences.
How many languages do they speak in?
I have no idea. You should check.
Let me check that for you.
Please do. So what happened is like you can AKA, remember AKA?
Yeah.
Back in the days had a song with Majitakada.
Suk Suk.
Yeah, Suk Suk. So if you want to, because like the music video, yeah, on a Suk Suk. So just check aka Suk Suk. I think it's the remix. You can go check it out there. And if you watch the music video, Haikala, ne, at the beginning, it's not like it's not just the music starting. So Kamajita, they're chilling at like a gas station. Kind of if it's a petrolling.
Garaching. Garaching.
It's like a gas station. Because I have no business calling that a gas station.
Gas station.
Anyways, but like petrolling and then like basha chips, basha they're being ratchet as you can. And like, they're speaking that dialect of Afrikaans over there. If you are interested in just seeing the differences of how the Afrikaans is spoken over there. So have you found out?
In Namibia, like they have approximately 30 languages. 30 languages, which English is the main one, followed by Oshiwambo, I think. And this one is interesting because, like, I wonder if it has anything to do with Khoi Khoi. It's followed by Iring Khoi Khoi go up.
Probably,
definitely,
Literally that.
Because, if you remember, the Khoisan used to move along those the
lines. Yes.
So, so
and
makes sense.
The fourth one, I guess the other one kneeling next. Afrikaans, then the rest.
Okay.
Yes.
So what I've also come to really start to understand about these other African countries is that, like, unlike us, they may have even more languages than us, but they're not official.
Yeah.
So like they're not like officially used in the country. Like it is a thing, but Puela and all that, but like you probably won't find it in papers and stuff like that. So like cause
but it is a lot, dog.
That is a lot.
Those cities were official languages.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
That's a lot.
That'd be crazy.
Because knowing me, I would wanna know.
You wanna know at least
every language.
like
in my country, I would at least try to understand it a little bit.
Yeah.
And that is the way we should really be. All of Africa should be going. Like everyone should, because then it will build that respect as well. Because like if you know someone's language, like you sort of like understand the man in a way.
Yeah.
So like I feel like it would also get rid of a lot of like, clashes that I don't want to say the T word, but like clashes that happen in Africa. And anyways, this isn't about sad stuff. The reason why I came to Namibia is one of the countries that I want y'all to take a look at is because Namibia went ahead and voted in a woman president.
Yeah.
What's her name again?
It's Osnandi, triple N.
Nandi.
Okay.
Nandi. You said triple N.
Well, I get it. Go for like name, surname, and middle name. What?
Maybe sometimes a name can be a surname as well.
Right?
Yeah.
Let me check again.
Yeah,
visualize
Natembu
or something.
Her Bantu name.
It's true.
Because like a lot of Africans actually don't like the term Bantu. So I guess you don't know. You are struggling to pronounce her Nguni name because that sounded very Nguni.
Yeah, get Netumbo, Netumbo or Netumbo. I don't know. Nandi. Notumbo, probably. And the last N Daitwa.
That does sound very Nguni.
Yeah.
I think I got it right.
Yeah.
But I like her a lot because not because she's I do like her because she's a woman. I think it's about time. I think it's a good thing. But I like her because I was watching one of the speeches that she was giving, and she was very particular about this. And I'm not gonna like quote her on this because I'm not good at that. But like she says something along the lines of like, I hope that didn't vote for me because I'm a woman. I hope you voted for me because I am competent enough to do the job.
Good.
And whenever I mess up, it should be that no one is scared to approach me because I'm a woman. And so even if I'm doing well, no one should, downplay my achievements just because I'm a woman. You know what I'm saying? So like, she's like really like, yo, it's on merit. I'm here to do some really great stuff. So I'm like,
That
yo,
is powerful.
that's very,
That
and
is
I'm like,
very, very
I'm already
powerful.
impressed that I don't even know the woman.
yeah,
Are we still-
you know, hey, Nandi.
Yeah.
Ghost, are we still? Can you check for me? Yeah.
Yes,
Anyways,
yes.
so for me, I was like, that was a very, very impressive speech that she gave. And you know, if you are interested, I don't know particularly where I saw it, because me, I be scouring through the net and watching so many things. I don't even be checking the channel sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if you just check, type in her name and just do the things there, you'll most likely and just listen to this woman and she speaks. Yo, like she is really very, very impressive in my opinion. So I'm like, look, I'm not gonna give her flowers right now, but I think it's one of those things that's interesting to watch. That's why I'm like, Namibia, very interesting to
Very,
watch,
very
because like I feel like this is it's a different style of leadership that the southern region of Africa hasn't experienced yet.
Yeah.
Now you go back in our history, you'll find plenty of women leaders.
Yeah.
You know, running basically the whole tribe. You know what I'm saying? So, but like in the modern sense, in the modern sense, like we know how there's this stigma of like women being seen as if they can't do what a man can do, type of thing. In fact, when you start speaking up for women now, they'll simp. Little simp out
You
here.
simping out here.
Simping out here. But
My
like,
nigga simping out here.
for Africa, I feel like because our democracies, so-called democracies, are so young, I feel like we should allow ourselves to experiment with every type of way. Because like if we allow ourselves to just stay stagnant and be like, okay, we are sticking to this type and one style of leadership, we'll be robbing ourselves. Because already from these parties that gave us liberation, they didn't themselves even get rid of a lot of the colonial ways that the governments were being run. So I feel like we have an opportunity and we should grab that as Africans to develop our own democracies the way we want to, even like to a point where like it doesn't have to be democracies. And the last country we're gonna speak about is basically an example of something like that. And so I just feel like we should be very I don't know, like happy that like Namibia took this chance, you know. Now,
an example.
Yeah, now just for context, the party over there, kind of we again party
Swapo.
Swapo is like their ANC, right? Like they've been running Namibia since liberation time, right? So now I'm like, man, the sad thing here is that like you could clearly see Horena, like, okay, because like I'm sure you guys are both very familiar with this thing, you know, like if a company is doing bad, right? Like and no one is trying to like take up that position of like, because they just feel like how feel to blame one.
When
They all suddenly turn and give that position to a woman.
Yeah.
So
in most cases,
Yeah.
it does
this
happen.
So in my opinion, this situation is more or less like that. Because like they were not doing as amazing. You know, people were complaining or like, look, we don't like the direction y'all are taking the party. There was sort of like a bit of a threat or like, yo, a new party might come through and topple them, you know. But like they held strong. They stood behind the woman. And yeah, let's see if she does a great job. I think it's a very interesting country to watch, a lovely country. But I always say this, like, bruh, like, why on earth, like, dude, it's right there, right? Like, why on earth did Namibia not name their alcohol, which is called Windhoek, right? Why didn't they? It was right there. Why didn't they call it Namibia? It was right there.
It was just right
It was
there.
right there. Why didn't they do that? Like, fair too. But now I'm sure it was named by a white guy. So
Of course.
Yeah.
The name is even.
yeah, the creativity was not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably named it after his great whatever. But yeah, man, like I think Namibia is a very good one to look out for. Melito, any knowledge maybe that you would like to share about Namibia, or just your outlook on this? Suddenly they have a woman president over there.
Well, shout out to Nam. Shout out to my niggas.
Shout out to Nam.
Shout out to Nams. I was trying to make that reference, man. Shout out to my niggas from the East. Shout out to... Remember that line? You should.
That's too vague, bro. You gotta give me a bit more than that.
Shout out to my niggas from the car. How does it go? Shout out to my niggas in the... shout out to my niggas in the... Man, Cousin Steve's, come on.
Oh, you should have just said, shout out to my niggas in the plug.
Yeah, I forgot the lyrics.
Shout out to, you should have
I did try to make that reference, right? I did try to shout out to...
I was like, I don't know if he's doing it intentionally or it's a mistake.
Anyway.
That's a very tough one. I mean... People watching this podcast don't even know who Cousin Steve is, bro.
Yeah, it's okay. They will know.
They will know from now.
Like I said, so they will learn these things, Slowly but surely they will learn these things.
So tell us about Nams. What
so
about
before I
Nandi?
went off-road, shout out to the president, shout out to the whole country for voting for a woman. I know it's not common, especially down south. It's not common. I think she's the first female or Mutua Musadi president in the southern hemisphere, so of Africa. So shout out to everyone in Namibia.
She's not the first woman president in the continent.
She's
the first woman president in the southern
hemisphere
region of Africa.
SADC. Y'all know SADC, right?
Know what that is.
So SADC. So well, Namibia is it's amazing. I know some people there have been telling me about, you should come visit us. We have this and that and then blah blah blah. Well, hopefully one day me and you maybe go still and out part of the
Let's
Spoko. I keep forgetting to say Spoko.
Ausi Spoko.
Spoko the bones.
Spoko and what?
The bones.
Spook my tongue.
Spook my tongue, boy. There we go. Spook my tongue. Anyway, hopefully we go there. We hit these three neighbors.
Yeah, it looks like a beautiful country to explore, man. Like we definitely
go see the desert where it meets the ocean. Because normally every time when I see people there, they are on quad bikes and maybe horses and maybe camels. I'm not sure about
beautiful
that.
Country,
you can correct me down there in the comments if I'm wrong or not.
Beautiful country, beautiful people.
Beautiful country, beautiful people. Like hopefully, the government that this woman is gonna be partaking in. It's not just she's not a puppet behind a machine. She is gonna be a competent leader who's gonna deliver for the people that voted for her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ghost. I almost said the name. I almost said it. Okay.
I mean, I'm impressed with the fact that she's already the way she is. I mean, I'm already impressed by that. One flower for that for me. I mean, the way men said that lanka wana o different. Already. It shows her motona we can say her approve a point. And I hope everything works out for her. And I'm just like jolo ka ha ba mo beile hana jole le mosadi ahla emele basadi kaofela bontsho a woman can actually become a president
all these other people
yes to other countries yes that's all I'm gonna say. Good luck to Namibia.
Good luck to Nams.
Nams.
And good luck to Mam Nandi.
Mam Nandi. No. Gona go thabetsa Africa.
Shem sikjabulele.
We happy for you, Namibia.
The opposing party wasn't as pleased because Kukla Barena and they were trying to take her. The opposing party ya Swapo. Ba batla ho mwisa court ba kanete ba tlo ejeka this thing.
For what?
And they feel like their votes were rigged or something?
Yeah, they feel like there's some shiga that went on. Apparently they were not happy, I could say, because Mam Nandi 91 with 58, I think.
I feel like it's too late, eh?
I mean, but
I did say, like, the guys were not, like, the country was not completely happy
yes,
with.
in half.
Yeah.
Really.
But I feel like because
Good for
like
them.
I feel like they should accept it, because if they don't now, it's Mozambique.
Yeah, Mozambique.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mozambique is not part of the countries we're trying to talk about. Let's go to the second country.
Yo, my nigga's on fire.
Let's go to the second country that I want to discuss today. From the three. Cousins are cousins of Basotho, boy.
They know themselves.
No, can someone tell me why white people Baibona is B-O,
Yes.
but Hababona Botswana they say Botswana.
Why? There's no B-A there, it's B-O.
Like Botswana.
Botswana.
It's because of how they pronounce they
Botswana. Like they always say, especially Americans.
Okay, I hear ya, but these people are able to say books.
Yeah.
It's double O. It's different.
You want me to come up with another example?
Go ahead.
What's another one? Boss. Right?
Boss. They say boss. They don't say boss.
No, boss, yeah, boss. Not their boss.
But how do they pronounce it though?
But nah, Joe. I just feel like it's an excuse, and it's very. And I guess by
It's the same thing as the zebra situation.
Nah, I say it's the same.
Zebra.
Yeah, they call it zebra. Like, how can you name something that you don't even have? Like, you can't name something that you don't have.
Thank you.
We're not out there saying beer.
But for me,
we don't have bears. Like, whatever you guys call it, we call it
We're
that.
calling it that.
For me, it's as disrespectful as Maburwa, the teacher, Babizi. They wanna claim who they are Africans. They wanna claim that like, yo, we've been here long enough, but they still can't pronounce Tepo.
Yeah.
Chipu.
What the hell is a Chipo?
Hey Chipo, come here.
And now it's not like they can't speak because we've heard.
They can speak.
They
it.
can speak it.
And
They
about
don't want to
perfect.
learn it.
That's why ke Leona Botswana, Baibona ke Botswana.
They see it.
Baibona ke
They're not
Botswana.
perfect.
I hear you, my boy.
White people are full of ish. I just don't understand.
I hear you on that.
Don't
I hear
ever
you.
give these people a way out.
I hear you.
But like, yeah, I want to discuss Botswana because something very interesting happened there as well. I'm sure all of us are very familiar with what happened there. So the party that was ran by, that was started by legendary president, amazing.
Legendary.
Mel only has one gripe with him.
What, nigga? What?
But anyways,
Niggas trying to put me on
so
spot, yo.
party ya ntate Seretsa come and I silence yona ntse rana. In fact, at some point in ngwana ntate Seretsa come rana country like that. Yeah, a couple of scandals here and there about him. But I ain't trying. Again, this is positive stuff. Or whatever they say. Breathe out. Back to the positive. So,
Chill.
eventually they lost out. And guess what? We saw the most healthiest, the most I don't know. Like I'm looking for the most coolest words to come up with, but like, hey man,
The transition.
I wanna show it was so impressive. I was clean. The cleanest.
I bet Botswana, they've been on the clean tip.
Yeah.
You can't even
It's
do
their
crime in
thing.
Botswana. They will
It's their
chop your hand. Trust me.
That is good.
Trust me, daddy.
And you know why that is, right? Like, so with South Africa, I've always had a problem with this. We're using Dutch law.
Yeah.
This has nothing to
you
do
did say
with
that,
us.
yeah.
So for me, I feel like, how can Batswana come with their law here? They don't understand how African society
was built.
You know how. So like, of course, Botswana, because they incorporated, like they still have Volhotla. They still, you know what I'm saying, and they still
so
refer to it that way.
Yes.
And it's taken very seriously.
Seriously,
So like, of course, but okay, what's the best way for Rona? And it's about society. So Botswana Basheban Kaufela like, okay, crime is so fita there's punishment for yona, it will make a criminal think twice about doing this thing because they understand their people. So they are the best people to come up with the laws to govern those people. Whereas you come to South Africa now, you have a situation where I don't even want to get into some of the craziest things that and the sentences for doing the most heinous crimes. We can all agree as Africans, or like something should be. This deserves to, but like again, we didn't do it, but Botswana did their own thing. Whether no country is perfect, but the way they carry themselves over there, even oh man, the new president.
I hear you, boy. I hear you because
he is just. Of course, the women are already saying.
He is though.
The guy, it is a handsome person. Pause. I love the respectability of it all, and from my opinion, that's another one to look out for because we just saw because him going forward and creating and working, it will show like we can have a transition of power and send it to a new party. It's never been tested, and they go on to do great things for the country. Africa needs to see these things. Africa needs to see a woman president. Africa needs to see a transition of power. But I accept like no, but and no, it's simple as that, so that's why Botswana is my second country that I wanted us to focus on. And again, I just want people to check Dintotzalanda and how those people run their thing. Melito,
no, I hear you, boy. When you mention stuff like these Dutches, they came here with their
don't
laws.
go too negative.
I'm not being negative, nigga. I'm just trying to make it's gonna lead to what I was trying to say.
My bad. Hard.
So, like I was saying, like I hear you when it comes to the point whereby we need to come up with our. That's where I was going. We need to come up with our own laws that are gonna suit us as Africans. Because every ethnicity, every culture, it's done differently. Like, for an example, here in South Africa, the Zulus do their own thing. The Sothos, the Tswanas, the Pedis, the Xhosas, the Shanganis, the Vendas, the Tsongas, They all do different... they might be doing something similar, but how they do it might be slightly different.
Yep.
So I believe if we can come up with our own laws, hence like what Botswana is doing, they still use some of the modern laws, incorporating them with what they originally were doing back then. It will help people to be grounded as well.
And I like that logic. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I like that logic of, look, don't scrap it all. Don't scrap it all.
No,
but
don't.
there's clear ones where we can all be like, no, we can all agree. But here, this one is not working.
Yeah. This one is not the one.
You know
it's
what
not
I'm saying?
doing the thing.
Yeah, but because South Africa, I love our constitution. Believe it or not, I think we have the best constitution
in the world.
The thing is, again, if it in practice, in this society, that is still going to have a massive impact on whether that constitution can even be effective. But back to you, Melito.
Yeah, that's true though. So, South Africa, I'm looking at you. You can learn something from Botswana and Namibia. Those two countries so far that we have talked about. He's going to mention the third one. But we can learn something from it. Like, Botswana, you can't simply go out doing crime here. Like, you probably might die. It's a given. Like 50-50 chances that you might die trying to, fuck up. So shout out to Botswana. I know, was it last year when they discovered that huge diamond Was it last year or the year before?
I can't remember, but it is the diamond. You know what's sad about the diamond stuff? So there's a recent thing that has taken. Sorry again for interrupting you, man. But there's a recent thing that has taken place in the diamond industry, if I can call it that, right?
Yeah.
It's probably called that. So they have come up with a way to create diamonds now. Basically manufacture them without going underground and all that. And the results,
are they really diamonds?
Yeah, they're really like how I say like the purity and all that, like bruh.
That's where the line now, diamonds aren't really as precious.
Diamonds were always a scam. De Beers already manufactured that whole scam way back in the days. But like at the end of the day, like it's becoming a bit worse now. That's why Botswana is already looking to like renegotiate the terms. I don't know how that's going, but that's why I'm saying take a look at that country. Very interesting things happening. So yeah, man, it does sort of like affect their future revenues and stuff like that. So it's a bit of a tough time if you are in the diamond.
That's a really an unfortunate
and you know what's
situation.
crazy? The gold industry is booming currently right now. What's the date? Just in case.
It's the first. Isn't the first?
It's
May.
May, yeah. 1st May 2025. Gold was booming.
So you can go invest in
and
gold.
South
I guess.
Africa, you have all the
Go
gold.
invest in gold.
Yeah, South Africa, you have all the gold, and guess what? How it's even next guy. Anyways, Mel, back to you, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I hear you, boy. It's an unfortunate situation that the diamonds there in Botswana, they're not gonna be like the diamonds we used to know.
Yeah.
If they can manufacture their own, that's crazy though.
Yeah.
If they can, because diamonds, I don't know if some of you know, diamonds are like one of the hardest things to break. Like they are very hard to break. Like diamonds are very, very hard. There's a certain pressure that you need to, and a certain material you need to use in order for you to, destroy a diamond. Diamond is one of the toughest, and it takes time to become what it is. Yep. Hence, it was a diamond. Like hence it became so expensive and everything. People had to go under and then go dig it and all that. Yeah, but in short, shout out to Botswana. We love you. Hopefully we're gonna come there, and come and see how y'all do your things there. Because I believe like you need to be with the people.
You got a favorite artist from Botswana?
Yeah, KMR. Is it KMR? William.
Oh. I just say William Last.
William Last. Yeah. Whatever. William Last. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, probably the only artist I know in Botswana.
Jakalas.
Oh, Jakalas. Is it top from Botswana? Jesus. What's
Jesonya.
I don't know Jesonya. All these things, my boy. They don't know these things.
Anyways, if ever you get the time, check out Jesonyana. King. Utrapa ke skaskili. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Check out my boy. Le Jakalas.
Jakalas. I thought he was from Woman of West. Or something.
Nah, Jakalas.
He's clearly from
Botswana. Yeah. But when you say that, it makes sense.
Botswana, boy. Yeah. Wenona nangantate Duma Boko.
Chisha mo itshwere ka bohaleng ke thabetse mosebetsi wa hae ka go ntsetsa mosebetsi o tsule matsogo ba vele country ntse ye mentse tsitsi a ke
bana she wa dingwe
Uncle the way women talk about something happens when it's time for them to talk about this guy.
Okay. We see it.
But yeah, he's doing a really great job. I'm liking the way like Africa is taking shape.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
Kibona future bright.
Yeah.
Very bright. It's gonna
slowly,
take time.
but surely.
Yeah. I mean, there's some cracks here and there, but like if you really look closely, like there's some really positive stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of positive stuff. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
My favorite sound.
I'm sorry, guys. I had to do it.
He did it and then repeated the sound effect after.
Anyways, guys, I want to go to this last country I want to discuss now. Now, this one is very, very different. However, it's probably the most famous one right
now, currently, for sure.
I want to talk about the land of upright men.
The land of upright men, for sure.
Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso.
It was actually named by Thomas Sankara. To be Burkina Faso, which means exactly that.
The land of the right people.
Upright men, yeah. Unfortunately, if you know the history, his right-hand man, Blaise Compaoré, he betrayed him. They pretty much assassinated him. But a lot of people have been saying, hey, we feel like there's a reincarnation here.
There's a reincarnation, definitely a dope reincarnation from...
After 2 successive coups in the modern sense, Blaise Compaoré and Feto, I think they had some kind of game by protest in the...
Yo, we back again with another one.
another one.
Another one.
I want to explain what I say, but I
ran out of explanations.
Anyways, guys, I just want to move straight to our third country, which
Burkina Faso.
Yes, which is the land of upright men.
Try to knock out the context first so that
I'm trying. No, you keep it
I was saying that so that we won't interrupt you.
Okay. So
Burkina
Faso, boy.
Yes. So Burkina Faso. About to see
the land of upright men.
The land of upright men.
Okay, continue.
Ela name again, Thomas Sankara. Now, if you know your history, then you know that he was sort of like betrayed. He was betrayed by his right hand man, Blaise Compaoré. Now, eventually, Blaise Compaoré then ran the country for the longest time. But eventually, I think they had some kind of interim president in the meantime. But then, ever since the situation in Libya happened with Gaddafi, a lot of terrorist insurgents, Islamic extremists have been taking a lot of advantage of the chaos basically over there, and this has led to a lot of insurgencies happening, and they've been trickling into these 3 nations in particular, which is Niger, Burkina Faso and Mali, and they have eventually called themselves into the Sahel state, right? Now, as these things are happening, these countries start realizing that their current leadership doesn't seem to, it's either incompetent or they can't seem to really handle this. And a lot of these countries were under the protection or you could say they were paying France as military to come through and help them deal with these insurgencies that are happening, right? Sort of like Boko Haram situation. That's basically what they're dealing with. These guys trying to come in, kidnap people, kill people, all this stuff, and they want to start their own weird little state. So France was supposed to be dealing with these things, but after a long time, these people start realizing like these guys are not doing that, and it's very weird because like this is France, one of the best militaries in the world, but like somehow they're failing to deal with these guys that are waging war, like against these countries. So what had happened was like now these countries that their militaries start coups, they start performing coups, and so with the country and as soon as these coups start happening, just like SADC, it has the thing called SADC. Well, the West Africa has its own thing as well, called the Sahel state. Again, ECOWAS, right? ECOWAS is the one that's holding all the West African
Nigeria,
countries.
Cameroon.
Yeah, and I think even Kenya, which some may say is a bit East Africa, but like I think they also fall under that. So,
yeah, it's a bit
but like once these countries decide to go for a coup, ECOWAS has a problem with it. They start now being like, actually, we're ready to take military action against you guys for doing this thing, which is, I will always say, very, very embarrassing for those countries doing that, because like, how are you fighting your own brothers against France when they are trying to kick out a foreigner, which is France, and someone that's been taking advantage of them for so long, for the longest time, bro. Like Niger, I think, is the one that like no power, but the very same resources that they find in Niger is the same one giving France power. So much power that France was able to now like even export to other European nations. So now imagine you guys finally decide, okay, we're gonna stand up against this and take over our own country, your own brothers, people that look like you. They're like, nah, this is wrong, democracy. And so they're like, we're gonna start with Niger, we're gonna come through there. They had a whole stupid ass conference, very loud. Everyone was very loud in that. We are prepared to take action and what. And so as soon as that happened, the rest of the other Sahel states, which Burkina Faso and Mali, were like, if y'all dare do that, we're gonna come through. We're not gonna allow y'all to just come through and bully them like that. So
try that and see us.
Yeah. So I just wanted to give context to that. But like going now to our country now, the first coup that took place in Burkina Faso, right? The guy that took over, the rest of the military felt like, hey, this guy took power and he sort of became bourgeoisie. Like, he started acting like the previous guys that were in power and basically ignoring the fact that the guys are dying on the front line fighting these terrorists over here. That problem hasn't gone just because we did a coup over here. It's still a thing. And so in comes the guy that everyone has been saying, like, remember I said Sankara got betrayed, and so some people are saying there's a reincarnation of sorts.
Through my nigga.
Through this guy now that comes through, and his name is Ibrahim Traore. So he now comes in and he's part of those guys that's like, yo, we in the front line. We were part of the guy that did this coup, and now the guy that's was the leader of the coup, he's doing his own thing. In fact, Traore and the rest of the military guys tried to actually set up a meeting with this guy to talk to him for like, yo, bro, like, just to get him back in order. Apparently, so they did what real men should do in a situation like that, which is perform another coup.
Yeah, they annexed him.
Yeah, so they did another coup. He runs over to, what is this? Côte d'Ivoire, which is another country that is very, is acting un-African, if you ask me, But like, yeah, he runs over there. And now we have this guy that everyone is buzzing about in charge, Ibrahim Traore. And yeah, man, that's why I wanted us to talk about this country in particular as the third one out of our two countries that I think are worth watching in terms of where Africa is going for the future and whatnot.
just in terms of like how the interesting things that are taking place in this one. And I think this one is the most interesting one because as soon as this guy took over, he's like, I don't even want a president's salary. I want to keep my military salary.
How dope is that?
Which was dope.
Very dope. And then he's also like, he's like kicking out France. We're bringing in Russia. You know what I'm saying? And
because sorry not to interrupt, because Russia in most cases they don't want to like stay, and then they only in most cases they come there to show you how to do these things, and then they go.
So Russia, you get more of a partnership with them,
exactly,
rather than with America and France and basically the West. You get to have these guys breathing down your neck while being very incompetent. And you just feel deliberately like sabotaged most of the time when it's the West, But like with Russia, it's very they usually don't get me wrong, they want their half. They want their cut of the resources.
Yep. Of course, there's no one who's gonna come and do the job for free.
Yeah, because there's casualties in these things, and no one is gonna send their guys to go get killed for no reason. So they gotta get their cut. Previously it was under the Wagner Group. Remember they were doing
they annexed that nigga, bro.
Why you keep saying annex?
I don't want to see the other word.
Okay, that's actually smart. My bad. Yeah, they did. Saw the helicopter going down. But yeah, the Wagner Group is a different. I think they're readjusting it, but like all we know is they are under Putin in a way. Now that group is, because back then they had this thing where like they were actually denying that they're part of Russia. So like it was sort of like Russia's proxy group where like they can use it for kind of understand plausible deniability. If they mess up in some foreign country, they're like, yo, we don't know them guys. We don't know them.
We didn't send them.
Yeah.
They came there on their own.
Yeah, and they had their own little Wagner flag and all. But like right now, it's just straight up Russia running things type thing. And with Ibrahim Traore, because of his very clear true Pan-Africanism, by the way, because there's a lot, dude, even Kagame claims he's Pan-Africanist. Please.
Paul
what
Kagame.
The hell? Like,
he's definitely not. Paul Kagame, he's definitely not.
He's
definitely
but like, we're not talking about negatives. We're talking about good things.
Yeah, we're not talking about him today.
So even if you listen to, go and just check out Ibrahim Traore, how he describes Pan-Africanism. Trust me, it's very different from Mr. Julius Malema, trust me, like, because that's why even me, I regard Julius Malema as a Pan-Africanist. However, I don't subscribe with how he views Pan-Africanist. Like, because with everything really, it's like with politics, religion, there's different variants. But the one that's being espoused by Ibrahim Traore, I would say, is the truest form of it, which is one that understands the importance of sovereignty and having borders that are secured. Because before you can help your brother, right, you have to help yourself. You have to be stable. You have to.
Yeah.
I think you should tell that to South Africa.
I don't want to talk about people that don't want to educate themselves when it's time to vote. They're just like going with like or whatever lemas is garas.
What does Baba stand for?
Let's not talk about this negative stuff. Like, we're talking about Burkina Faso, and so with Burkina Faso and the stuff that this guy is doing, I just feel like it's a very, unfortunately, even last week, or was it just a few days ago, when America Because this guy, bruh, in a year, they're already mining their own gold. It's showing results.
Yeah,
they're building roads.
They're building
Burkina
roads.
Faso is doing
their
its thing.
own food.
This guy with the myth.
They're probably going to be the biggest tomato producers.
One of the first things they did is create a tomato factory. So, like, yo, this guy is focused. Yo, like, he's really, like, that's why this is true Pan-Africanism. Yeah, like, so... As you can imagine, like almost every week, there's a assassination attempt on the guy. Like, and don't even like don't double guess it or whatever. It's the West, bro. It's the West. They want him out of here.
They definitely want him out of there.
Yeah, that's why I'm always saying, like, with our country, like, we don't have an Ibrahim Traore. As much as y'all want to point to weirdos out here saying, like, no, this guy is the guy. He was on the front line fighting. It's in toy soldiers.
If we had an Abraham here,
if we had a what?
A Traore here.
Yeah, because I feel like there's this thing whereby in South Africa people love to act as if like, no, South Africans are out to vote and it's just out of no reason. Like, no, there's no leader.
There is nobody to vote for.
ANC leader mampela. But Hantle di Codesa watu dieta ba our true leader by ANC, and then they
the Codesa deals,
and then they buried his legacy.
We know.
Cease, and then they released his killer.
Cease,
we know.
And then they released his killer.
Yeah, well, you can fool people that are ignorant and people that don't want to do their own research, but we know.
Because, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when that guy said, let's go, South Africa in a year. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, South Africans, I feel like they still know what true leadership looks like. And that's why out here, some people want to compare him to Ibrahim Traore. That's why his party last time got 9%. Anyways. Back to Traore.
This nigga.
And he just wants to glance.
He's gonna leave a bomb like that, and then we're not gonna laugh about it. He wants to continue like he didn't say nothing.
Hey, that's dead.
Nigga.
Anyways, when you have a true leader, he's gonna get attacked. He's gonna be under attack. They're gonna try to get him out. They're gonna try to pay people close to him millions and millions to betray him. You know what I'm saying? So far they've been failing, but I was truly disgusted with what America did, which is they had they had a black general who is in charge of something called AfricaCom or something, AfricaCon or something like that. Yeah, like and I feel like it's very deliberate that they have some black guy
to come and talk to the black guy.
Yeah, so this idiot was very confidently talking there. I think he was in Congress or whatever. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. Ain't afraid to say his name. This guy, Ibrahim Traore, yeah, he's prom. I'm like,
nigga, who the fuck are you?
Like, what the hell is this, bro? What the hell is this? He's like,
who do you think you are?
He's like, yeah, he's taking the gold and enriching himself. And like,
that's his gold. That's his gold. We're not gonna guy gold in
Burkina Faso only an American.
Exactly. That's his gold. That is Burkina Faso's people's gold. They are willing to do whatever it takes to see whatever it fits. How they wanted to extract it from the soil. You cannot tell them shit. You understand? I'm going to start saying words that I don't want to speak.
Yeah, but like, we all know this playbook. It's nothing new. If you know, you know. They've been doing this.
Yeah. They've been.
So I was just disgusted by that, obviously, like, ew. And now, apparently, he had some meeting in Cote d'Ivoire. Remember, that black general went to Cote d'Ivoire recently, right? After the recent assassination attempt. Now he goes to Cote d'Ivoire. Why? Because remember who ran to Cote d'Ivoire? Remember the guy that did the first coup? And then Abraham were like, this guy is incompetent and kicked him out. So I feel like they're over there trying to make some stupid takalaninya planning
to annex Ibrahim Traore.
Yeah, and they've been and I feel like as Africans, if we just sit back and just watch them do, like, yo, look, I feel like I'm playing my part by doing this podcast.
Well, we can't sit back and watch.
But like, yeah, like we
social media, go there, say your part. Like, we need to make as much noise
as possible.
Or the world must understand, or like, yo, the West is trying to take another one. Another one. And look, I have my problems with Gaddafi. I know a lot of Africans just suddenly like, Gaddafi was perfect. Like, what?
Nah, Gaddafi was definitely not perfect, yo.
Far from it.
Not every president is perfect. So.
But much like Kimang Olowa Anali Iraq, was it Saddam? Yeah. Much like him, he knew how to hold the country together.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And as soon as those guys, were taken care of, to quote unquote, those countries are still in chaos till today. And even now, Obama, I was about to say some crazy words because it's another one that black people act like was some perfect guy.
Excellent.
That guy was a fucking idiot. There's no better way to say it. He was also used just like this stupid general. Because he's the one that got that okayed the strikes on Gaddafi and Libya and whatnot. But like now, he's still till today coming out saying like, yo, Libya was my biggest regret, yada, yada, yada. I can't stand. Like, whenever you look at a black person who is in government in America, just understand that those people do not stand for blackness. They stand for Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam.
It is what it is. It's real. So I just want people to be aware of like who it's Alanda, because like I said, I've gone through these three countries and I feel like they're some of the most, with Namibia, we got a great example of like, yo, here we have a woman that can prove or like, Africa going forward. Here's a different style of leadership. In Botswana, we have this change of transition of powers peacefully, safely. No one got hurt. You aren't taller. Just the guy that was the previous president was there personally to shake the guy's hand and that the walk and say like, you are now the guy in charge. Do it for the people, the right things. And then we have Burkina Faso as well, another trailblazing country, right? They got this new guy now, Ibrahim Traore. And if you look at those countries, I'm sure you'll understand why I chose them in particular. Nothing the same about them at all. But like, if you are looking at the continent and saying, I'm trying to look at some positive stuff. I'm trying to look at something that can make me be like, okay, maybe we have something to look forward to in Africa. I think those are really good countries. Now, I'm going to hand over to Mel. Ibrahim Traore. We bona join the Burkina Faso situation.
Burkina Faso situation, boy. Yo.
Situation.
Well, Ibrahim Traore, I feel like they're trying, but the military intelligence of the country, it's on point. Reason being because he was part of the military. Yep. He knows exactly what to do. And like, I feel like they can try, but if they try...
Oh, they're going to keep trying.
If they try, if they want to see us as Africans, I'm not talking about Nigeria, because Nigeria I can exclude it from this list. Because from this list, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, all these other countries that are part of thing that did ECOWAS.
Because like Ghana is also part of ECOWAS, right? But remember, they invited Traore when they got the new leader.
Yeah.
So cool. The Senegal guy as well, I think.
The Senegal
who has
guy.
Two beautiful wives.
One
is Christian, one is Muslim.
Yeah.
I just love the diversity of leadership that we are getting. And he looks young, that guy, bruh.
Yeah, he does.
Please check for us what the guy's name is from Senegal. Ne? The president of Senegal, young man. Yeah, man. Like, he also, he was actually saying that, like, yo, he was pleading with ECOWAS, the rest of them leaders, for like, yo, let's get this guy's back. Let's just ask for forgiveness, because this was a bad move. Let's just ask for forgiveness, have them back. These are our brothers, type thing. But whatever ECOWAS would let's say about literally and what.
Yeah, well, so like I was saying, even if these other countries that the ECOWAS can try to stop countries like Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. But I did see something throughout the week where Morocco was like, you know what? We are willing to help you guys.
Yep.
We are willing to open our borders for you guys.
Which I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like that is such a because if you understand, like Morocco is the Arabs over there, and it's not where us traditionally as dark-skinned Africans we look to the Arabs in Africa to help us, because usually they actually attacking us. Just look at Sudan, you'll understand why there's skepticism.
I was coming there.
Yeah, so thank you for even mentioning that, because I'm like, I just hope they are aware how weird it is that your dark skinned brothers that look like you ain't trying to help you. It's the Arab light skinned guy in Africa trying to help you. Very weird.
Yeah, I was kind of like trying to build that up.
Oh, man, my bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. We know the same information. So as soon as it comes to you, you wanna say it. I get that. Don't worry. But looking at countries like Morocco, I think some of the reasons why they're doing all that, because like that interview we watched, I think it was a week or 2 weeks ago. The guy was saying, like, I know you guys want to support, sorry, my bad, Ibrahim Traore because he's black, or because, this, because that. We support him because he's our brother in religion.
Yeah, because he isn't.
I believe also
Muslim,
that's the reason why Morocco is like willing to help.
And I think he got some of his education there as well as a young guy. He actually got a lot of his education that side.
Yeah.
So that's like the relationship there seems to be very strong.
Yeah. So oh shit, I lost my train of thought.
You were about to explain, like in certain situation they see him as a not just as a leader, but like as a religious leader. That's of like the new Islam in in Africa.
So them they focusing on he's our brother in in Islam, or he's our whatever they believe in.
Yeah.
He's our brother there, so we'll support him. But in most cases, when it comes to religion and Islamic law and black people trying to be involved, like it's a mess. I'm sorry, it's a mess. Like it's a complicated, but you can go do you can go learn for yourself. The information is there on YouTube.
I say it's a mess whenever a black man tries any type of religion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Because they took ours and we don't have memory of that one, and we can, I feel like, patch those things up and try to get back to that, but ain't nobody trying to do that.
Yeah. So, kind of, I forgot.
Is it my fault again? I feel like
it's your fault. You talk too much.
I keep because once you start talking about something, I
really can't remember.
But anyway, let me chop it up. Burkina Faso, I'm glad that they're moving the way they're moving. This is a great example for Africa as a whole, to show the rest of these African countries, you do not need the European countries, you do not need the West for you to do something. Even if they say they're gonna take away their what Trump is busy and threatening is gonna take, what is it called, sanction, the aid and whatever. Like, do you think Burkina Faso still needs to France to give them anything? No. And I think I was watching what were we watching when they said, Morocco, in the situation of Morocco, because also they were also colonized by the French. We're like, the president was like, if Morocco wants help, they can just say they want. But you know that,
earthquake.
You know that they just faced the crisis. Why don't you offer your help? Why don't you want them to beg for your money? No.
The West is very disrespectful.
The West and the European countries, especially countries
no
like
respect for us at all.
Italy, France, a little bit of Germany somewhere there, those countries.
All of Europe, bro.
All of them.
Trust
They're
me.
coming to Africa to take. They're not coming here to build. They're coming here to take.
Anything.
And then they're going to take whatever is yours and then they're going to sell it back to you at a higher price. But it was yours. And then you sold them for a fraction of a price. Example, you sold them for like 50 cents. They're going to come back and sell it to you for like 2 rands. Like, you need, like I was saying, boy, like if I'm going to start talking here, I'm going to go on a tantrum. So,
I cannot tantrum.
no. Ghost. What do you think about the situation? Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, and the rest of the West trying to take over and destroying our leader, Ibrahim Traore.
The leader shall not be destroyed. Hopefully, other Africans who care about Africa are actually paying attention. It's not just us. Well, it's not just us, clearly, but like, I hope there are important people who can actually make an actual difference. Belong hore they pay attention to these things. It would suck to lose somebody like Ibrahim Ba. It would suck
In our lifetime, like
exactly.
I don't want to see
it's like
that in
history
my
repeating
lifetime.
itself.
It's like living through. I feel like maybe in America, like living through the time when they killed Malcolm X. It's like I don't want to be existing in a
part of
time
that.
where they take such a prominent leader away from you. Like it sucks, man. So
Like people like Hector Peterson and
Right.
Lena, Steve Biko, like
Yeah.
it still hits me hard. Okay, we don't have that guy. Like 'cause
Yeah.
I feel like he would have stopped a lot of the nonsense. Anyways.
It would have. It would be. We would have failed Africa as Africans if we let anything happen to Ibrahim. So I can't pronounce that name.
Abraham Traore.
Ibrahim Traore.
Ibra.
Is it
You know the whole time they get tower. Not
is it
Traore?
Traore?
I didn't pronounce.
Get Traore.
Yeah,
Traore.
It's so hard pronouncing that. The one that
It's French. Just like remember the guy that betrayed Thomas Sankara. He is Blaise Compaoré.
Campore,
So it's
Blaise
they
Compaoré.
have this French influence to their things.
There's nothing much to say about that. I just appreciate that I was able to witness somebody like that.
A real
my
leader
lifetime.
in our lifetime.
Right.
Because like
it's like what you said the other day. It's like imagine them trying to take out Mandela, like when Mandela was fighting
Mandela.
before he went to prison.
Yes. It's like living. It would be like living through that again. So I wouldn't want to see that. I hope. I like these 3 countries. Great examples. Great examples.
The Sahel states, they've started even their own passports. At first, France was denying. They were like, "No, we're not gonna accept these." But eventually, I can't know why, but they accepted them. So
they don't have a choice.
It's
not their country. Like, come on, people need to realize that as much as they need they think they need because I believe they don't.
The West needs
As much as they think they need the West, no, it's the way around. The other way around. Like they need you more than you need them because they come here to take people. Come on, they come here to take all the time. They come.
And I like that these
people,
3
you need to
countries,
wake up.
di kgona hore bontsha hore change is possible. Like so you be peaceful change, voting peacefully and accepting hore okay, this is the guy that we want to run now. And in Botswana, what I like is that it's like they all have the same understanding. We are doing this for the country, for Katloya country, and it's not for any selfish anything. And I feel like I hope I don't know. Like I can't say anything about Burkina Faso. I don't want to lie, but from Totse I hope about Burkina Faso are taking.
They were behind them. Did you see the march?
Yeah, they had a whole march, and besides that, to answer your question, so a lot of the equipment, the military stuff, the grain for the like the Burkina Faso people are the ones actually donating that.
I mean,
so like that's why like this. If we watch this
Shout
die,
out.
it's
Shout
what's happening
out.
there is really such a great example.
I hope South Africa
Black
is
people in
taking
Europe
note.
marching
Definitely not,
for
I'm
Abraham
sorry.
Traore after this whole coup thing that they were trying to do. I don't know if you saw it on social medias and everywhere. They were busy like marching, like it was everywhere. Even even Malema, our own Malema, he had to be like, hey, if they wanna see us, they will see us. We will take Traore is us and we are Abraham Traore.
Yes.
Our whole speech, yo. I'm telling
good.
you.
That is good.
Our
At
whole
least,
speech.
At
yo.
least in batho ba ileng hore hopefully kana go ileng hore bohlokwa ba tla kgona ho bontsha influence.
Yeah, if we let this one go, like then we are
So
doomed.
the thing with Ibrahim Traore, for me, that's very special to me is that we were so starved of real leadership
Dude.
for the longest time in Africa. I was actually championing Paul Kagame because he seemed like the only guy that seems to be able to go there and tell the West ish if he wants to. He was the one able to go there and actually like I created his own propaganda. With the Visit Rwanda stuff and all that, like, cause that's like sports watching, but being done by an African country. From Russia, Gazprom, which is a company, or Saudi Arabia, Fly Emirates on the t-shirts, but to see it being done by an African guy, like, and this is a country that's gone through it. Like, look, it's not like I disregard everything that Paul Kagame achieved, because he did inherit a country that just went through a genocide. But again, if you go and look into the stuff, like some may say he played a part in it even becoming. Anyways, I'm just saying, like, because we were so starved of seeing real leadership, for the longest time, a lot of us were actually convinced that, like, yeah, that is the only real guy doing things out here. And so with an Abraham Traore, it's like, oh no, actually, like for me, obviously, like it's been some years now, Paul Kagame, because I've obviously done my research and I've realized over like what's happening there is, it's something really, really horrible. But like, and he's not helping the situation at all. He's part of the problem. So for me, Traore represents this guy that talks of Pan-Africanism. You believe him. He doesn't have to even show you his actions. Like the way this guy carries himself,
The
like
way he
it's just
carries himself.
Did you see when he
real
came
man,
to when he went to Ghana?
yeah.
That was
People
that
lost
was
their
a
mind, bro. There's
serious,
security. There's this
statement.
footage of some security guy just staring at him.
Yeah,
Like
fascinating.
he was fascinating. Like, what is with this guy?
Yeah, man.
What is with this guy? Why does he feel like he's? I'm sure he wanted to. I'm sure later on he was like, "Hey, here's my CV, man.
I'd like to work for you.
It would be an
Hello,
honor.
killing.
Yeah.
Squeeze us in.
Squeezing in. Yeah, man. For me, it's really just a wonderful thing to witness in my lifetime. To actually, be around to see what actual true leadership looks like, because we become so used to so much BS leadership that like that looks like that's the only thing possible. That's why I like when I see new leadership styles. Like, okay, even in Namibia, it's not like a new party taking over, but like it's again, women will always bring something different. Even their corruption is a little different.
It's different.
There's this woman, I think Yanana Rana, New Zealand. So they're like, yo, when she was in charge, like, dog, nearly 10 up with the office in the government. Yeah, they're like,
is it the same one who shut down the country?
Yeah,
COVID.
like a party girl.
Yeah,
party girl.
It was like, we need to shut this shit down. We don't need to let anyone in this country. Yo, shut this shit down.
Yeah, her presidency just seemed like fun. So like even that, like even if it's not on a positive note, women, we should give them an opportunity to reborn or
Yeah.
because the woman that was running fucking Liberia, like, she was different too. Like her style of leadership was very different, and she came through after their genocide. Because if you know Liberia, they had a little Nakwantabo. They had this guy, man, famous guy that was causing all sorts of things. James Mama, because Batvara and Kiribona, they were colonized by Black Americans. It's a very different story over there in Liberia.
Liberia is it's a wormhole. You need at least
another one. But we were talking about positive things, and those three countries, Namibia, Botswana, and Burkina Faso. Now, Burkina Faso isn't as stable as these other countries. In fact, some would say it's not stable at all because it's been attacked not only by these Islamic weirdos, but it's also as well like the West. So they're fighting something, but like it's an inspiring thing to watch because they just keep going.
I have a question. I have a question for both of you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think? Because I'm looking at this thing and I'm asking myself if all these Islamic states, like, it's always insurgents, and like, is it a good thing to even allow such a thing to happen to your country? Because I think about it and I get scared. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be that country. Like,
here's the thing: those countries chose that.
How so?
So like a lot of the times, yes, it starts.
They
do. They actually voted in. They don't. Yeah. So a lot of the times they'll come a party shapo with liberating us from what. Now in every country, like, you know, like in America, there's a Christian front, right? Like there's the people on about Trump, right? They vote for Trump and all that. Like in those countries, obviously, there's gonna be a huge a movement, Muslims, right, who are for a bit more extreme with the Islam, right? And so, like, eventually, once those guys, they'll eventually have their leader be the guy on top, because they're citizens at the end of the day. They want to see someone that looks like them, that practices something that's like them. Now, what do you think is going to happen when they finally do get that guy and he gets there and he's like, all right, not only am I thankful that, I wanted a guy that's with ya, but I'm going to, because you have to understand, it comes through as a noble thing. He's like, no, like, let's go all the way through Vela. Let's implement Sharia law and all that. And the people welcome that because, again, if you look at how that person even got there, it's because people want someone that's following their thing and all that. So the thing with Islamic countries is that, like, they take their religion very seriously. Now, I always say, don't judge them, because if the Christian countries were following the Bible to a T,
it will be the same thing.
Yeah, if not worse, like, so it's just that those guys are just, they're sticking to their guns, basically. Yes, it does. A lot of the times it does seem like it doesn't produce good results. But at the end of the day, we can't judge a religion that we've never even grown up in, countries that we've never really been in like that, because that's why then you find that, like, a lot of the times, like Hamas, it's in Hamas, man. The guys, is it Hamas?
It's Hamas.
Because they were voted in. Into Gaza, to run Gaza, by the Palestinians. Now, if you ask the Palestinians today, they'll tell you that they want them out. But then again, what the thing is with these guys, what they do is they'll get in, right? Promise all these good things just like they do with us. Eventually, you start seeing like they're not doing that. But like, unlike with us, right? These guys go even more extreme. They pivot. And they're like, national emergency, no elections. Yeah, so that's how you end up with that situation.
We're running everything.
Yeah, because like now, yes, in Gaza, like the people will tell you that they probably not for Hamas. However, who's gonna hold the election? Because Hamas is like, we are going through.
But
when it's a national emergency, in most countries, when they declare that, it means the states certain things The president can even write in random crazy laws, and they can become law right there and then without going through Congress and all that.
Yeah.
Like, so they take advantage of stuff like that to then carry on. So when you look at those people, it's like, it's not like they're still with that person and they still love the government. Like, they are basically, and they can't now just have elections because they're not allowing oppositions. They get rid of them, all that stuff. So that's how you end up with
to
this
even
thing.
compete
Yeah, so that's how you end. So that's why I'm like, whenever we look at situations like that, like we shouldn't just be like, hey, these people are just dumb or whatever. Like, it's way more complicated. Now, me personally, I'll always say, if you mix religion into anything, it'll always make things way, way worse.
Yeah.
Way, way worse. But that's just me, okay? To each their own. And that's
But the problem is, I have a problem with that. Because when it comes to... imagine if our people took their tradition and was trying to make it law. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like what they do with that traditional religions and whatsoever. If they, like for the Enrique's example, that is very much close. Basotho, like whatever we do in our culture, we stick to that. We be like, you know what? You don't do this, you do this. You don't do this, we do this. But I don't think we'll be that extreme. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe that we'll... The things that they... I feel like... I might be wrong. You can correct me here. I feel like some religions are just too extreme for me to accept. From it's just me. Yeah, it's just me. Like, I don't care whether you want to make it law or what, but it just feels like it's too extreme. Like, I feel like I don't have rights, you know, especially men, it's bad. Women, it's even worse, horrible. Like, I feel like in these type of religions, women do not have a say in anything. Like, whether what they wear, what they eat, how they live their nothing. So I have a problem with that, because like, if you're gonna be a religion that is too extreme for people to even exist or live how they want to live, you know, you can still have some laws. We do have some laws in our cultures. You all know this. We do have some laws, like as a Wanana, you're not supposed to do this. As Mutuam Shimani, you're not supposed to do that. I feel like I could never accept them. I don't know.
They're not bad though. Well,
they're not bad?
Some are extreme.
What do you mean they're not bad?
Some are extreme.
Explain, please.
No, what I meant was some are extreme, but I don't think but to have a practice they view it like that.
Exactly.
So for them it's not.
That's basically the point that I was
trying
to make.
No, but practicing is just putting it in practice. Like saying, how can I make this so that you both can understand?
Yeah. Simplify.
I cannot drive. Like,
so
a simple thing as driving is just it's gonna cause. You have to remember, all these things were not there before. Okay. You know, they were not there before. It's just things that just came out now. No. You know, like I said, I might be wrong. I don't want to be like I'm 100% correct on this thing. No, I might be wrong, but the way I see it, like, you cannot just forcefully like oppress people like that. I feel like it's oppression.
It is.
It's a religion, but it's a religion that is oppressing people.
It is, but like, I guess like if religion is like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Christianity is not. It's oppression in its own way. Christianity as well, like Hinduism. You know, you need to pray this, like, but I feel like in some religions, if you're not doing that, exactly that, you need to die. Yes. You know, that's where I feel like
I support that project, because you can't go into something and want to do it your way. As who I get into that thing. I get that, but practice what you preach.
But why should we follow something that is gonna kill us all? That's my problem.
But why do you go into it at all, hey?
You know, some people don't have a choice. Let me make an example. You know, I always make this reference all the time. A ridiculous claim. Like,
but no one's gonna.
No. I'm not going there. Okay. I'm just making an example. Like what you say. Like, it's you grew up. Like you are a child in the family. You don't know anything. Everything that you know, you've been taught from your parents. It wasn't a choice. There's no way. If I was born in the Middle East, I'm Muslim. If I'm born in Europe, I'm Catholic. You know, if I'm born in America, you know, maybe I'm gang. You know, it's up. You know. Like, I'm trying to make you understand.
Yeah, you get
what I'm saying. I have a problem with that. I have a problem.
Yeah, maybe it's just me. I get it. Some are just too extreme because some you can't even leave.
Yeah, you don't have a choice in what you believe in. You think people around our area, they have a choice to what you believe in? Like, they don't. They grew up. Their parents told them, we are Greeking Sunday, that's it. Or we are with a Mietro, that's it. You don't have a say, you know, what you later decide when you have your own house, your own man and woman, whatsoever. Then you can decide, well, no, I don't want this actually.
Yeah. Which really even happens, Leona, because you're like already conditioned like that.
Yeah. So. Hence I was saying, like, some, I feel like they're
indoctrinated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, but hopefully, you know, I didn't offend people.
No,
I totally get it. But I also understand at the end of the day, like, you know, like, I can't single one religion out. That's my thing. Because, like, even with Christianity, right, a lot of people will tell you, like, oh, I find there's no problem with the religion, it's the people. The people corrupted, what. But in my opinion, I feel like, like a lot of the times, like you can go in there and these things are already corrupt. Like that's why I can't single one out. I'm not against any of them, but I'm definitely not for any of them either. Because different people use religions for different reasons. You know, some people use it to actually enslave other people.
Yep.
But when you say the savannah in the church. Yeah, but the savannah one was okay, yeah? Yo, big ups to that pastor, you know, trying to get the church, you know, up and up, you know, jiving and all. Because you can't tell me you're gonna feed the whole church savannah and then they're not gonna.
But
so I always say the way the society is found already, right? Like so until Nebu as Basotho, we have our own customs, what. When they came through with Christianity, it was able to gel and it didn't turn us weird. Now, stay with me here. I'm going to get some. You go to, I think, is it Tanzania? They got some Islam over there. You hardly hear weird stuff.
No, I didn't even know.
Yeah,
Tanzania.
And let me just finish this thing, guys. Now, I truly believe it is like nature versus nurture type thing. So now you go to Nigeria, which is where I think my point is gonna collide properly, where you see the Christians are extreme Christians, the Muslims are extreme Muslims, and I feel like that's the reason why Nigeria is how it is. So it's always going to be about the conditioning. Why? Because Nigerians are very forceful people. Now, it's a positive thing and a very negative thing as well. Now, imagine a whole nation of people like that believing in different things differently. Like, it's bound to cause chaos.
Yeah.
So, that's where the nature could not nurture that. So, like, but for Nigeria, if it was up to me, I would be like, even your traditional stuff. really need to focus like if we got Nigeria to focus on some communist-ish like Mao Zedong did with China, because that's how you are able to galvanize a large population. Remember, China took a huge population of people, pretty much whipped them into shape to about following trade one, which is based in economic development.
Yeah.
$1.
Yeah.
Now, if Nigerians were whipped into that thing, I feel like
because
we
Nigeria
would.
is
But
not-
I feel like it would be so far. But because of where already these two religions, the fact that they are even. Because like the last time we had something like this with a country where that has two opposite things, we got India, right? And they had to split. Pakistan, Bangladesh, because like it's gonna cause chaos. But like because when you look, that's why when you look at it, and I feel like that's probably how the communists, that's how maybe someone like Mao Zedong looked at it. You got these proletarians, because it was the same thing in China. It was opposing stuff. Like, in fact, the guys that Mao Zedong was fighting with later went on and established Taiwan into what it is today. Yeah, the Kuomintang party, they went to Taiwan and established that as it is. So, and they still claim they're going to come back and take over China and place it as it should be. Anyways, like they were already those things. And it's really, in a country like that, it should really be winner takes all high once. But the thing is, I can't vie. Like I told you, I don't agree with either of these religions anyways. So my personal opinion, just me, I would say they should probably go the Mao Zedong way and the communist way of like reshaping that society in such a way that they like religion is the last thing on their mind. Because like I feel like it's led to so much BS. Even their traditional stuff, like dude, they're selling body parts over there. They're doing all sorts of things. Buying the ritual stuff for money, like. And I always look at stuff like that, like, dude, this is just poverty. This is just poverty. And how more than poverty, Joe, all sorts of superstitions. People are going to believe in bullshit, but what are nonsense.
I feel like
when Europe was going through its dark ages, that's when they started having the Salem witch trials. You see, white people did this as well. They went through it as well. Where they just randomly started killing certain women because they believed they were witches. So the best solution again, unite them into holding on to one thing, and it's gonna make them focus on what I feel every Nigerian loves already: money. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but still, it's a very tough one because, like, if it was for me, I would say all these countries just forget about religion. It's just a waste of time.
Focus
like
on something else.
If you too focus on the past too much, you have to remember religion is the past. Religion is like those ancient books that were written there that people still want us to follow. You know, they don't want to move on with the time. like, come on. Like, if we stop focusing on certain things, I believe like as people in general, we'll be so far. You know, not putting race or ethnicity in part of this. Well, like we'll be building, like we'll be focused on other stuff.
It would force us to
now
focus on one thing.
Someone will tell you, nah, my religion doesn't want me to hold a laptop. Now my religion doesn't want me to talk on the mic. Now my religion, like, come on, dude. Like
Dumb
how
shit.
many opportunities are you closing down for your people by just doing that? They like saying that whoever championed Arabic maths is Arabic, right?
Yes.
Imagine if they took that, and then they ran with it, they'll be like, maybe today we'll be like looking at them like, yeah, when we need answers, we go to these people. They know their shit. Their calculations are on point,
Yeah. And here's a fun fact. They did some studies. When you speak Arabic, it's almost like all of your brain senses are activated. It's like one of the most intelligent languages you can learn out there. If you speak it, it's like your whole brain, and it's very healthy for you. Like it's almost like think clearer. And if you think about it, that's why maybe they came up with so many cool things back then, right? Because the Arabic was always there. But like, yeah, man. Are you done with your point? Yeah. In my opinion, a staunch atheist over here. You know, atheist baka. But I disagree with Mel very hardly, very, very hardly.
On what?
On just us getting rid of religion all over. Like, it's gonna sound crazy to some people, especially after I just said I'm an atheist. But like I said, example like it's really about how this thing finds you and how you take it and how you use it, right? I've seen it become such a positive thing in people that I know that without it, they probably wouldn't have turned out the way they have. Crazy enough, one of the biggest examples I have of this is my dad. Yeah, my father himself.
Weird example.
Yeah. So I don't think my dad achieves half the things that he achieved while he was alive if he wasn't a Christian. I
see your point.
Yeah, so some people, again, how they receive it, it actually helps them focus on life. So the way I look at these things is humans don't look at religions properly. I think they should be looking at them more as like philosophy books that are there to like maybe guide you. But like you shouldn't take this as like the absolute truth. You're ready to kill people over what's in here and whatnot. You know, they should be looking at it like any other book that comes with advices and guides. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's just my opinion. You know, so I've even said this before, like on social media. Like, this was done already. Like, Russia tried this. So when the Soviet Union became a thing, they had a whole dominion and whatnot, and they implemented true communism, Baba. Got rid of money. No money circulating.
But here's the thing,
let me
Vice.
just finish it. Yeah, I understand. Okay, you're not gonna agree. I'm just saying, this is from my perspective. Now let me finish it. They got rid of money. They got rid, and if you understand what true communism is, they were really trying to do those things. One of them is communism. You don't believe in God. Like, it's an atheist system.
Okay.
Yeah, true communists don't have a religion. They don't follow that. And didn't out so well. A lot of people became very miserable. You know what I'm saying? Like, with the money situation as well, like, it really destroyed the economy. Like, they really had to take back a lot of stuff because they saw, like, okay, like, and even today, if you look at Russia, they have fully restored, like, their religious past fully. And, like, Putin even himself makes sure, like, so, like, no. As much as I'm a dictator, like, nah, get religion alone. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, but I understand why someone would be like, nah, I think it's best. Because even me as an atheist, in my ideal mind, because this thing does seem like it causes more harm than good in the world. But I also think about all those people that, like, without that, it seems like they would be more or less lost, you know, because there's just some people that... It's a human thing. They need something to hold on to, type thing, or something that they can feel like is a higher thing than them. You know, they want something that they can feel like, okay, this is a bigger calling. It's bigger than me, boss.
It helps them
yeah,
cope.
so that's just how I view it. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah, but here's the thing that I feel like you are forgetting as well. Like, everything was created by a human being. It was not there before.
That's why I want them to view it like a book.
Let me finish. I gave you a chance. Let me finish.
Okay.
As much as everything was created, if it was not there, something else was going to replace it. You know? It's not... imagine if there was no religion at all, what do you think people were gonna option out to? They wouldn't know that there was something called God.
They had idols before.
You didn't listen. You must listen before you answer.
Though.
I said, if there was no God before, there was nothing like religion. Meaning, when I say religion, I'm including all the gods.
Also, there was nothing.
There was nothing. Okay. There was nothing. Because there was a point where there was nothing. Because people were just living to survive before. Because all these things are ideas that came about other people. People thought about these things. The reason why Christianity became a prominent thing is because they wanted to govern people. You know, they wanted to control people, stop fornicating, stop killing people. There was no law that was governing the people. Like we have the government right now to govern people, but there was not something like that before. So religion was there to mediate the situation whereby, don't kill because God says this. Don't do this. If you have read the Bible, you know these things. They like if you have ever become a Christian before, you won't miss it. So my point was, you know, all these things, they were someone thought about. This was an idea that came to someone in the beginning, like whenever the time was, it came to him. So all these other religion stood from someone else's idea, like, okay, mine, I think it should be like this. I will allow this. I will allow this. It was not, no one came to this world and then everything was just, they like saying written in stone. It was just written in stone. You're just living to, like, Mudimu, there's the proof, like Mudimu was here, like he laid this thing down for everyone to follow and then we all gonna follow this. No. It was not like that. Hence, I'm saying that I feel like if religion was not there, people will be focusing on other things. You know, if there was no laws where the Bible, I don't want to say the Bible, whatever the religion is saying that women should not drive, women should only dress like this. Remember, our own ancestors never paradi titana, like never sapari next year on top. You know, now it's like, you have to cover yourself. It's an idea that came about from someone. So that's why I believe, like, if all these ideas were not there, people will be focusing on other things. I get when Vice is saying that, you know, it helped other people to focus, you know, to be on that mindset. But if it was not there, you were not going to use it to focus. You were going to use something else to focus. Even if it was not maybe something as grounding as maybe say religion. Religion will ground you, be like, humble yourself, you know, pray and all that. But there will be something else that you'll be focusing on. Trying to fulfill exactly what you want. Because at the end of the day, whether your dad was what, he had a vision.
Okay, let's not bring him into the please.
I was making an example.
Yeah, I get it, but please don't.
Okay, it's fine. Yeah. My point is done. Anyway.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I agree with both of y'all. I get both of y'all's point. What I got from this, actually, let me not say what I got from this first. What you're saying, like, you could send to and now I'm saying, like, if it wasn't religion, it would have been something else. Everything. It's, I guess that's just how we humans are. We follow whichever one we see as a leader or whatever we see as, like, I don't know how else to explain it. If it wasn't that, it would have been something else. So what I got from this this thing, religion. It's like religion is basically like just a drug, and it's just a drug that you take to cope.
Really?
It's like a drug because like you use it to cope.
Yeah, well, maybe if it depends how you want to look at it. Like, if you want to go to religion because you want to fulfill, you want to be a teacher, then it can help make you focus. But there's a lot of teachers that are not religious. Hence, I'm saying that analogy doesn't make sense to me. Because
Okay.
you can focus on other things. Not necessarily you need the religion to focus. There's
But I
a
feel
lot
like
of focused
humans
people
find-
that do not need religion. Hence, I was
Humans-
trying to make the example, but he didn't want to make me to
Humans
make the
find
example.
a way to cope either way.
Exactly. I'm coming to that point. Exactly
Yeah.
what you're saying. I'm saying it.
That's
They will
okay.
come. They will find something to cope.
Yeah.
Whatever. You'll get there. You'll get there. So long as when you want to focus, you focus. You don't need any religion or whatsoever. You'll get there. Whatever whether you are you thingy you are unale aim or we tell it. No, you know what? Ke batla ho reka laptop, and in order for me to get a laptop, I need to sacrifice all my money. Ege tholang ke save. Like I save 10 ranta, it langa 2 years. But I'll get there.
Yeah.
You understand? That's principle. You need to be principle. You need to focus. It's all about.
But like we're not the same, and we don't operate the same. Some other people work differently. They need certain things to like hore di ba sete hantle, di ba thusa hore ba focus. And some other people, and I do get it does deprive them somehow. Yes, but it works too. So and it works for them, and it's what they prefer. So I guess.
Yes, I get the
Yeah.
part where it works, and I like that part where
Yeah,
it works.
yeah.
But my problem is when now it all kwala mamati. Now you can't sing. Because some religions you can't sing, and you are talented. You are fully talented. You can't sing. Your religion doesn't want you to sing.
Okay.
But you have the voice, you have the talent and everything.
That would suck.
That
That
it
would
sucks when it
suck.
comes to that.
Yeah.
So I feel like we don't need all these things. Like we don't. We do not.
And guys, don't get confused. I actually agree with everything he's saying. Nah, I just don't believe you can even actually be able to get rid of it. People are gonna fight for it. People are always gonna go for it. Like
Somebody
if
always
something
needs
I
it.
can say about religion is that the ones that we have right now, they've won enough people that like I don't see us getting rid of that. Like, and about win, like they're very staunchly into it. So for me, it's like I get again. I'm with Mel. Everything I believe that, but like you said, I understand. Or humans can do a simple genre. Like they just simply are gonna either revert to it in some way or another, or create a new one, but it's still gonna be in some way of worshiping. That's just humans.
It's
in
still
my
gonna be
opinion.
something else.
Like they're always gonna revert to that thing. That's why I feel like even trying to, it's sort of like a tedious task. It's almost like trying to get rid of gays. It's like it's tedious because like humans are always gonna have that, and gays will always be made type thing. And it's very specific. That's why it's very specific with humans. They wanna worship. They wanna have something above them. It's very specific. It's still gonna revert back to religion. That's how I look at them. Now I don't agree that things should go that way. In fact, I'm with Mel. Like, there's so many other ways for you to deal with these things. That's why I don't get why they don't look at it like books, stay long, just like any other book with knowledge that can help you go through things. No, this is the one most important book. I don't get. That's where they lose me. That's where they lose me. And again, I don't advocate for religion because of stuff like that. I don't. I would never go to someone and be like, I advise you religion. Like, I don't. I
None of them
subscribe
make
to it.
sense.
I think the solutions in it are even limited. That's why it should be treated as just one book. There's other books that you can add more knowledge with that one taller. So like for me, that's basically all I would say. Like, when it comes to people and religion, I don't think you can even take it away from them. Like, they're gonna crawl, fight. I think Dune is showing a good example of that. So Dune imagines, right, millennials and millennials forward in the future, right?
That's what
where like now they still practicing Islam, but like Hinduism, right, and Christianity, because like they actually the way if you understand Dune, not just the movies, then you'll understand, like it's a mixture of those. So somewhere as they are moving from one planet, they lose some knowledge, but someone kept some of it. Up until, because humans are gonna still want to hold that, but that's fictional. And we don't know how it would. I think it is possible that we could find ourselves in the future where it's like, nah, we really all come to a conclusion now, like we gotta get rid of this religion stuff. Amazing future. I don't think I'm gonna be around when, if ever that happens.
And the problem is, like, I don't know why, especially I'm gonna speak for Africans, you know. Yeah. Like, I don't know why we let go of our customs and traditions, and you know, and then when this new religion thing came with a boat, and then we were easy to hop on it. Like, my reason being is, you know, we did have our traditional customs and traditions and everything, but we are not excessively doing them like what we are doing with these other religions. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel like it was beaten into our ancestors.
Yes, indoctrination.
Yeah. Like, it was forced. It was because they did reject it at first. Like, it was forced. Again, how do human beings work? So like, if they beat the person that you look up to and force him to now accept this BS, chances are you gonna go with that. So that's how it was introduced. I don't think we just willy-nilly were like, oh, I guess this is our way now.
Yeah, it was definitely forced onto us. But my point was, if we were stuck on our customs and traditions, like a lot of all this mess that is happening, like especially in Africa, because now we are confused. Like it's Christians, it's Muslims, it's what, it's what. Like, everything. We don't know where we're going.
Everything is here.
Ausi Vice, I'm Christian. I'm in Islam. Islam. My Bible says I need to convert you. If I can't convert you, I need to kill you. Like, you understand? Because I believe
the word or the
sword. So I believe our customs and traditions, they were building us. Like they had respect in it. Like okay, Klokomela, you know, it's a show
Ubuntu, we created that.
Exactly. But these other religions, I feel like they coming here to divide us. I don't know.
True. I agree with that.
Yeah, again, if you understand that's what these religions were made, you already explained exactly what they were meant for. You know exactly what they were meant for.
I just feel like our people can just wake up, man.
I don't think it's gonna happen. Again,
true.
For me, and not to even look at it at a negative way, Africa lost its chance. If you ask me, it's a lost cause. So for me, look towards the future. This is like China now. Remember, China, when they had the Cultural Revolution, look it up, they went to their temples. They destroyed them. They went and took the books, the old knowledge of their own culture. They destroyed them. They banned them. They did all this. Okay? Now you can go now and see they're trying to bring it back, because losing your culture means you're going to lose actual things that people would be interested to come to.
Come and see. You don't want to see. Come there and see
what the hell? Like, the people.
We want to learn about the culture.
That's why Japan is such a special place, right? But like, they did all that, right? And what happened? Like, yes, like they did lose a lot and whatnot, but like they moved forward. So I think you also mentioned it somewhere along the podcast. You did say, like, I think maybe kind of Botswana for like. Because now I'm against us just going straight back and taking. Even now, there's some stuff about our tradition. I'm like, I guess bad.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, like how we should do it is take what works and mix it into this modern world, which is what Japan did, which is what China is attempting to do now. And I feel like they're winning, because if Ubunnikai had a great time in China, and Oshebore, they were taking him to very cultural places, and that's what matters. So definitely our culture should be reserved and should be treasured and whatnot, but like, let's not go just blindly back as it is. And I don't think that's what you were saying. I'm just saying, it's something that we should be careful of, because there are some people that are like, no, women have rights now, bro.
Yeah.
No, they have rights.
They have rights.
And it's a good thing that they have rights.
That's why I have a problem with these religions.
Yeah. So like what you're saying is like adopt that in Tatsachale, but like with a little readjustment.
A lot of
in
fact, a lot of South Africans already live that way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of South Africans that are like, let's say you Zulu, right? But like they don't attend the actual events where, or they don't feel like, oh, I need to. I need to go to KZN. Like Mzulu, like I'd say maybe somewhere else in the country, very strongly about their thing, but like they just feel like I'm not as big nothing. I don't feel like it's a thing. Yeah. I'm more into watches. I'm more into gold until, but I still feel deep within me, Mzulu, 100%. Then you get a guy like me. I feel like I'm also a bit of an example of a modern guy. Like like it's me. I am that. How I'm trying to figure no, but like no, but when I'm fit to like no, I'm so 100,000%. And how no change like, because like at the end of the day, how could was so to something happens to me? I love that thing. It's a real thing for me. But like I don't have any feelings.
Yeah.
I find it very unnecessary. And my kids are never gonna have to go there.
Yeah.
I feel there was a purpose for that back then, where we need to introduce young men into being a man. There's ways we can do that in a modern way now, you know. For that chop stuff, like I think the safer way is way more and even that, like, because not everyone even wants to have their skin removed. And that's a right as well, where like if you want to keep your skin, keep it, Baba.
Now I'm gonna advise you, if you still have your thing there, go cut it, my nigga.
Actually,
it's not healthy.
I hear you.
For health reasons.
Only for healthy reasons. The rest of the I don't care. I'm just worried about the health reason, because as a guy, you know. I don't have to explain this. You know. Okay.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to speak as someone that is circumcised and is very happy with that and very satisfied. I do my thing. I'm happy.
Every time he over-explains like this, now, he's going to go the opposite way.
Now, listen, because it's very important. Like, some people are really suffering from this, and it's become like a serious problem. Some people are scared to talk about it when it does pop up, like on my ex or Twitter, sometimes like, the stories are really horrific. So I'm sure you guys have noticed, or even in South Africa, they don't advertise that as much as they used to. There's a reason, and it's a very good reason, because we're not the same. We're not built the same, and what works for you won't work for other people. And it turns out for a lot of people, taking the ink off actually destroys almost the whole experience of sex. Some people actually lose their feeling.
It's true.
Very dangerous. So I just want people to be very aware of that. Like, don't force your child into this. Please allow it to be his choice. Because when it came to me, my parents were very clear. Like, I'm fit, it's up to you.
That's good.
And I really did want to do it. So, like, again, guys, like, understand the risks and what comes with that. Because the reason why they took those adverts away is because people started complaining for like, and you guys are saying, and now I feel like my life is ruined. Imagine not enjoying sex. Because I think you understand how important sex is to not just men, but like even women, right? Like
it takes away the sensitivity.
Yeah. So some people need that thing to still be there.
So the arousal
to
won't
still
be there.
Be strong and stuff.
That's
like,
true.
Different strokes for different folks. So just be aware of that, guys.
Okay,
like,
don't force your kids to like.
Please
circumcise.
don't be on some like religiously what. This is how we end up with societies with men that rape.
Yeah.
Men that, because they want a different way to get that off now. Violence is what gets them off. Like that's why now you go to Dubai and there's these rich guys. They just want a woman to come through and defecate on them. Why? Because there's different things that happen to certain people, and they can only get to the climax through weird things. Some people like their balls to be squished.
Why doesn't that hurt?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's too
But like,
extreme,
even
bro.
smaller than a
That's too
thing,
extreme.
that's the only way now he can get it. You guys laugh. Yes, it is funny. I'm not saying I shouldn't
I
laugh.
know.
I'm not saying I
I'm
shouldn't
just
laugh. It is
saying, like,
funny. It is
I
funny.
wouldn't. That's too extreme.
It is funny.
Got me thinking about.
Look,
I
y'all
got me
watching
thinking
this.
about the
We got the 18 way there, ne? We got the 18 in the corner.
Yeah.
So you should understand. So
Okay, no more.
I think I can talk to
know.
ya and tell you like, yo, no, for real, you can go to your porn site and look out for guys it's a thing. And
I'm actually gonna check it out myself.
and look, guys, like, I'm not saying it's because now the guys
Is that
circumcised. I'm not saying that. Please understand. I'm not
I
saying
hope it's not.
those guys love to defecate because of this. Like, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, hore, stuff like that can lead to now this person abatlo his way in another way.
Because there's a lot of ways to like.
Yeah, there's a lot of
There's
ways
a
to
lot
get
of
there.
ways to
So,
get
like,
there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
just be careful of that. Guys, we've done 2 hours.
I think we
Damn.
even didn't even talk about our last topic, but it's fine. We'll save it.
Yeah,
for
I don't
the
think
next
we can
do-
episode. We don't have the
We
time.
had a last topic?
Yeah, we do.
What is that?
The music part.
Oh, hey, Mr.
I didn't want to spoil it.
Oh
so
shit.
What's it about Shay Shay?
Ke re o ka se ntate ke ra ba akhiza ka snow ba ni ka ba lo nka
But
monyetla
if you
wena.
see snow, run the other way.
Hey wena, the bear was doing the trick.
Why do you think you have into? We
A
take.
choice.
Why do you
Why
think
you
you have
acting
a
like you got a
choice in this
Yeah.
matter? Nah, that's
Now,
wild.
at first, I was very adamant to like, look, if you listen to the thing, it's clear like there's some edited parts here.
Ekare 82 and stuff.
But now there's other women coming out.
No.
And that AI video thing they made, it makes him look crazy, bruh.
Yeah.
No.
That AI video makes him look cray.
So, remember, before he started Shay Shay, he was working with at some sport thingy. Yeah, America, I think it was at ESPN.
Yeah.
With some white guy, very famous, Skip Bayless. Now, a lot of people just assumed, like, no, he left because him and Skip stopped getting along, which was very clear, by the way. There was definitely something there. But, like, now, Nkari, there was a woman there at Lima, like, hey, Shannon was bumping where he's not supposed to bump.
Supposed to bamba, and then bam brown envelope in the corner there.
Yeah.
No, bumping as in
That hash.
Yeah, you know,
SH.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like bamafa brown envelope.
Harassing the women and stuff. So, and again,
Okay, no.
even this first one, right? Inana nintse se shoka yona. O hopola go Leona. He tried to pay.
Yes,
For
he
the
tried.
actual outing.
And then
So
she was
even
like,
with this
"Nope."
one, apparently he did pay, and now it's looking. And now some people are there's always conspiracies out. People are like, because the lawyer that this chick decided to go in this with is very shady. That's the same guy that accused Jay-Z of having what with a 13-year-old. So some people are like, nagam kholumza. So they're like, if you look at the case, this chick, she got the brand envelope back in the days.
Yeah.
It's almost identical to this one. Down to strangling, the him, like, yo, this chick was like, dude, I was okay. I think she called somewhere.
Yeah.
She called in somewhere. She's like, I was okay. She believes she's the one that introduced
And he was
him
starting to talk some crazy shit that Shannon likes this and that. You remember?
But now the problem is that she says, it's like, look, I'm all into that and whatnot. In fact, I think I introduced him into some of this stuff. But Shannon Hasal in it, no. That's his problem. And guys, I understand. It's the same thing because Majitaka is your child stories so like yes, guys, you can be dating someone out komele and that's rape. That's right. You can rape your own girlfriend.
It is.
And people need to really get this through their damn heads.
Yes.
Like it doesn't matter. No, Kim Sadwaka, Kim Ricketts ing what.
Kim 10,000.
And they won't care.
They were not there.
No means no, gents. And some guys need to really start understanding how important that is. Otherwise, you're gonna lose 100 million like Shannon Sharp.
Yep.
And that chick wants half of that.
Yeah, she wants 50. But now I'm thinking because Shannon had to step out from whatever other stuff that he was doing on national TV because of this situation.
Yes.
I think it's kind of clear, like, that deal is gone.
That deal is gone. Exactly after we watched what we watched yesterday, that deal is gone.
Oh, shit.
That deal is gone.
That deal is definitely gone. So for me, I would say like all the best for Shannon. I'm just sad that it feels like he doesn't have any real friends. No one is picking up on him.
Did you
hear it?
Yeah. What's his name? Melody majita melody chelete mukota chelete Maluti chelete melody araditaba Maluti chelete